I'm Scott Meister at the Potato House Permaculture Pension, 1,000 meters above sea level at the base of Mount Fuji in Yamanaka-ku, Japan. Today we're going to build probably one of the most well-known features of permaculture design. It was created by Bill Mollison and it's called the herb spiral. The herb spiral is a lesson in land use and space and increasing edge, what we call edge in permaculture design. You can take a circle roughly 2 meters in diameter and increase the planting space by raising the soil into a spiral, which will give you about 9 meters of planting space. Now, what you're going to need is some rocks, some well-aged compost, your herbs of course, perhaps some dried sphagnum moss if you have it available, some straw, and some manure. Now when we start to design our herb spiral, we want to keep size in mind. Everything should be easily reachable by the hand. So start at the center with about a hand's length, so you can easily reach everything by just walking around the herb spiral. So take your rocks and put a rock about an arm's length to the center and work your way around. Now comes the fun part, soil building. Now, a lot of people will be tempted to put their rocks into a spiral and then dump a lot of dirt and put their plants in. That's not what you're going to do because you're not going to have the nutrition available for your plants. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a sheet mulch, which will create soil that will break down and provide nutrition over time so we won't have to add synthetic fertilizers. Okay, now I already started this herb spiral because I just couldn't wait to get going. But what I did was I first added a layer of dead dry leaves to the very bottom, which will decompose over time to provide nutrition to the plants later on in life. Then I added a layer of cheap soil, another layer of leaves, then a layer of well-aged compost. Now I'm going to water it well before I add the next layer. One of the advantages of an herb spiral is that it provides different kinds of microclimates and soil types for different kinds of plants. At the very top, you'll have a warm, dry, sunny area that is very well drained for plants that enjoy that kind of situation. And at the bottom, you'll have a cool, wet, shady area for plants that enjoy that kind of situation as well. So what I'm going to do for the plants at the bottom that like wetness is I'm going to add a little layer of dried sphagnum moss, which will kind of act as a sponge in water absorption for the plants at the bottom. The next layer I add is going to be a layer of straw, which will decompose with a layer of manure to provide nutrition to the plants, again, over time. Kind of a slow release time capsule of good nutrition. Just a reminder, make sure you water very well between each layer. And next we have the layer of nature's soil building catalyst, the nitrogen-rich cow manure. Then, after the manure and a good watering, another layer of straw. This will again interact with the manure and the other straw layer to again break down and provide nutrition over time. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to add some of the thermophilic compost that I made last autumn and aged over the winter. Okay, now that we have our soil medium in place and well watered, all we have to do is arrange our herbs in the way we want them planted. We have rosemary at the top because it likes something that's very dry and sunny. And down at the bottom we have things like spearmint, which like a shady, wet area. Here's a rough layout of our herb spiral the way it will look when it's finished. Now it's time for me to get to work planting. So here we have it, our finished herb spiral, all in a good day's work, actually just about 3 hours. I'm Scott Meister here at the Potato House Permaculture Pension, 1,000 meters above sea level at Lake Yamanakako, Japan. Thanks for joining us.